everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. Today is Mixed Media Frenzy and we are doing this sketch up in the right hand corner. Now this sketch is really cool, but I was very stumped by this sketch and I'll explain in a minute why. So first I am using some white cardstock and I am getting it ready and prepped with some clear gesso to do some mixed media on it. I'm going to be using an acrylic paint by Prima. It's called Raven. It's a Sparks paint and it has a little bit of like a shine to it, and it's super pretty. I really like these paints and I don't use them as often as I really should. But you'll see in a minute how shiny it is. So now I'm going in with this and I'm using one of my sponge, I don't know what you would call these. It's a little sponge brush, I guess. And I'm just doing these strokes like you see on there. And it's supposed to be messy, so it didn't really matter. And then I went down the whole side of the page like they did. But now this is a sketch we're looking at. So I didn't know how this was going to look like it not being a sketch. So I'm like, oh boy, I don't know about this. And I'm just like thinking, just keep going with it. Just keep doing it because that's what I always say. And it ends up turning out really good. So I kept going with it and I'm just like playing around. And then I come in with a smaller brush. You'll see in a minute that's not as wide. And it kind of helps it like thin it out a little bit. And I am going to go over this too. So it's not going to stay this dark. I go over it with Vicky Bouton's silver glaze. It's like a silver glaze. I don't know how else to describe it. But, and this is a screen stencil. What this does is it sticks down. You could stick it right down on your paper and it'll stick. And then you go over it with your little spatula and you just run it through the stencil. And it doesn't make it really thick. It's a very thin coat that goes on here. So what I did is I went in with this and I knew this was going to tone it down, and it does. So I'm liking that. And I wanted to do silver because you're going to see in a minute. The photos that I'm documenting today are photos of three of my youngest kids. We got them these little drum sets and they absolutely love them. And we took photos of them and they were all playing it, and I just was very cute. So I figured using 3 photos on this, that was perfect. And see how there's a little bit of a shine. And then with Vicky Bouton's not iridescent, silver glaze, it would be, I mean, it makes it look even better. So I think it turned out really good. So I just kept going with it just to tone it down in certain spots that I thought it needed it. And then it wouldn't be so dark. And that's what I liked. So I'm glad I kept going with it. So this is how it's going to look. Now see how nice that looks? I ended up using all these music notes that I've had for a while in my stash. And I used a couple of these little picture frames to kind of like offset my photos a little bit and kind of pop them up so they're kind of a little dimensional. And I had this music note paper that I used, and I thought it was super cute. And I just used it to, you can't really tell though because I used like a very small piece to go behind my photos, but I needed something to separate it from the frames a little bit because I didn't want them to go inside the frames. I just wanted them to kind of go on top of the frames just to kind of give it a little dimension and make them pop on the layout. So that's what I did there. And then all those music notes and stuff, that's all stuff I had in my stash. I purchased most of the stickers and the cardstock stickers that are on there. I purchased at Hobby Lobby when they have like their 50% off Paper Studio. So that's when I bought those. So I had them in my stash for a while and I just been waiting to use them. And those little frames I've had forever too. I had a whole package of those. They're just little wooden chip frames, and I thought they went perfect with this layout, so because of the colors. So I kind of went with that white, black, and silver. And I think it turned out really good. I really like it. having the music notes on there was super cute, and their little photos, just everything came together really nicely. So I hope you guys like it. I'm not used to doing mixed media this bold, I guess I would say. That's the only way I would know what word to put to it. It's very bold layout, and that's what stumped me, because I'm like, do I want to do it dark like that, or do I want to go light? And then I'm like, oh, let's go for it. So I did, and it paid off because I think it looks good, and I like how the Vicky Bouton's glaze on top. I think the silver glaze really toned it back a little bit, and it made it look a lot better. So, like I say all the time, just keep going with it. When it looks bad and you're like, oh no, I don't know if I like this, sometimes you can save it. I'm telling you. So that's what I did, and I just kept going with it. And I do like the way it turned out. So I hope you guys do too. But yeah, so now what I'm doing is I'm just popping up my photos now, also with some craft foam. So I want to make my pictures really pop from the page. And I just kind of offset them off of the these little frames a little bit, just so kind of you could see it peeking up from behind the photos, I guess. And I'm gluing them down with some Scotch glue because I want to make sure they stay stuck. That little piece on the right hand side there that has music notes on it, that's a ribbon that I had in my stash, and I decided to use that because they do have a little cluster on the side. I made mine a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We're only supposed to be using this for inspiration. So I didn't do circles either like they did. I did square, which is perfectly fine. And you know, you kind of try to do your own thing and try to make it your own. And that's what I try to do. Some weeks I do stick close to the actual sketch, and some weeks I don't. I like to challenge myself quite a bit with mixed media, so I just go for it. I don't like second guess it or anything. I just go for it, and it is what it is, right? It's your layout, so you know, however it looks, if you like it, that's all that matters. So now with the ribbon, what I decided to do is I put a little tail on the end of it. So I just folded it in half and then cut upward in a diagonal direction, and that gave me my little fin tail at the end. And I'm gonna glue that down with some fiber tack glue because that's what I always use when I use any type of fabric or anything like that, because it sticks really well, and it's a clear glue, so that's what I like about it too. And then all these little music notes, I'm just going to glue them down with my Scotch glue. And that's it. And I come in with some littler, I have these package of real little music notes too that I purchased. And I'm going to stick a couple of those on there as well. So I think it turned out really cute. And for a music, you know, because they were playing the drums and it was all music. So that's why I did the music notes. And it just, the silver, the gold, and the black just really looked good together. So I'm really happy that I stuck with the black and just went with it. Because all of my stuff that I had to go on this layout was perfect. So I'm just sticking a couple little music notes down. And then you'll see me come in with these bigger, well, they're not bigger. Oh, first I come in with my title, yeah. And it's just going to be, let's do this. Because they went for it. They got behind those drums and they just started beating them, and they were super cute, and we had our own little band going on. And so I thought, let's do this was a good title. And these little thickers, I think I got these at Tuesday Morning. They got it, like, you can't really tell on camera, but they're black with a silver line going through them. So like I said, it just goes perfectly together now with these thickers as well, having the silver and the gold. I mean, the silver and gold. Oh my God. The black and silver on him. So, yeah. And then I'm going to come in with the little tiny, well, they're not tiny, but they're little music notes, and they're a little glittery. And so there's silver glitter, and then they got enamel dot, like a black enamel dot on them as well. So I thought these were super cute, and I just went along the side here of my layout with a few of them. And it turned out super cute. I love the way it turned out. And then I kind of wanted, I just felt like the one side was too white. So what I did is I came in with my little distress tool and I decided to distress the edges around the whole layout. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a rough edge and not make it so plain around the whole thing, I guess. And then you see those stamps I have on the right side. Those are like fake stitching stamps. So I decided to do a little stitch around the border on where all the white is. So I took my one stitch out and I put it on my little stamping block and I went around just the white edges there with my archival ink, my black archival ink. And that kind of like brought it all together because it felt like it needed something there, and this framing like pretty much did it, and I thought it looked really cool. So see how you just keep going with it and little things pop in your head and then you're like, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And that's what I did, and it turned out super cute. I mean, look at it now. It looks so good. But when I first put that black down, I was a little nervous. I thought for sure I was going to ditch it and start over. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. So, yeah. And that's all I do. I think that I come in, yeah, I did. I came in with a little bit of Distress Oxide, and I just distressed the edges a little bit where I distressed it with my distress tool, and I just went and came in with the black, and I just kind of rubbed it a little bit to give it kind of like that little bit of rough edge there, like that. And it's all done. So there you go, guys. There is the layout. I hope you guys like it. Now seeing it up close, how cool the silver looks against the black. I love it. So that's it, guys. So make sure you check out the other ladies. I have all their links down below. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. Just hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget the bell so you get notified every time I post in a video. So I want to thank you guys for watching. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.